Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They called her the tiny dancer. They said she was a tiny dancer, and now she's a candle in the wind.
Oh my God.
She's a candle in the wind.
Fuck.
That's been my inner monologue for 48 hours.
I can't believe Trump said that.
I don't even know how to explain what it is. It's like maybe Trump misremembering that clip and talking about it later and thinking that he said that she was the tiny dancer and that they called her the
That's
tiny
for sure
dancer.
what it'd be. It'd
I'm
be
not
like him
sure.
saying that the next day.
They called her the tiny dancer.
They called her.
Now she's gone. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Episode 100.
Yep, triple digits. We
We
made
have
it.
Felix here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's all the same to you guys, episode 100 is a big deal. So, could I start you guys off with a prayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, please, let's go.
Absolutely.
Okay,
This would be my sixth or seventh for today.
Wait, is this going to be a Christian style prayer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
sure.
converted
Good.
recently.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. No,
Finally.
of course. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. Dear Lord, I lift up Melanie Mack to you and protect her and keep her safe. Keep on inspiring her to do her best and for her to inspire others as well. Help provide for her when she rests. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Amen. It's one of the funniest things that's ever happened, I think, that, let me pull it up, that I copied one of the AR-15 prayers.
Mm-hmm.
I copy and pasted it on my Twitter, as I am wont to do. And someone in our Discord posted a screenshot of their Discord, their prayer requests, which often reference us, weirdly enough. And AR-15 posted in there, one of my enemies decided to copy and steal one of my prayers I posted to social media and post it as if it were his own status. I'm not concerned about him stealing my prayer, but what the prayer was. Let's just say it's about courage and sacrifice, or I or he would ever encounter a dangerous situation. The courage part is fine, but I don't want to hear anyone else having to sacrifice themselves just because of a false prayer. I don't think he's a believer, but I know how powerful prayer can be, so please pray for him and for God to not answer his prayer for sacrifice. So that's crazy.
Fucking
Maybe
funny.
he should listen to my Christian rock.
It's so
that I
funny to
make.
start something with my enemy stole one of my prayers.
Does that bring
Okay.
us up to 3 enemies now?
More than that, because I mean they built a block list based off of me. So-
Yeah, but like people that have publicly stated that we're their
I guess
enemy.
that's true. Well, there's he who shall not be named because it's Lent, the Lenten
Right.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob R. AR-15.
Robert.
Robert.
There's more. I feel like there's more. I feel like I have a lot of enemies.
Snack Pack.
Snack
Yeah.
Pack. Oh yeah, that's another block list built around me.
D Coco Loco.
Chapo FYM
Chapo FYM. Guys, I see you.
are a collective group of cyberbullies, terrorists, leftists, hackers, and all other sorts of scum.
Guys, I see you.
The feds are after you guys. How much more communist and ignorant can you get?
These are all people that have
Oh,
called
yeah.
us their enemy, even though we never said they are our enemy.
Well, I mean, this would be your first, self-declared enemy who, is sort of acting like you stole a magic spell from him, but like a spell that you can't control.
Yeah.
I like treating prayer that way.
You had to wait till Red Kahina to find one of those.
I like the idea that he could like distract God by like offering a new prayer to like sort of push our prayer out like towards like oh I totally forgot about that one. I'm so sorry, Alex. I didn't have. Hey God, by the way, God, don't read that last one. Amen.
God gets spun by our confusion by our prayer, and he misses 2 turns.
You
He
have
doesn't kill that guy.
You have an all-knowing God, and I hope he rolls a 1. Oh, you got to miss a turn. Sorry.
I hope God sees my most recent support ticket.
I love
Like
that.
Jira ticket.
Well, he's new to me as a Melanie Mack guy, son of Zion 777.
Oh yeah.
who's been struggling. Well, he just says here, been struggling so much recently with porn/lust. I just want to say thank you to Melanie Mack and all other siblings in Christ on your Discord server for reaching out to me and praying for me. My walk with Christ is very alone here in Sweden, so thank you once again. And then the actual thing in the Discord for the prayer request for his jacking off is He's being oppressed by a demon of lust. Please pray Jesus would protect him and that demon would
That's
flee
so awesome.
from
They
him.
have Pastor Foghorn Leghorn in there modding that Discord.
There is a demon who is controlling my hand, making it go up and down and up and down and up and down until, well, I get a little bit of clarity afterwards and I start crying, praying to God.
I already thought like struggling with lust was a very like grandiose way of saying that you're jacking off too much.
Mm-hmm.
But oppressed by a demon of lust is just like, oh my!
Yeah.
Every day is a Van Helsing manga.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's actively exhausting him, except because he's trying to push a big pog succubus off it, bouncing on his dick all night, every night. Being actively oppressed by it.
Yeah, I used to think it was like, something to laugh at, but now that I realize he's being oppressed by demons, this is not funny.
Oh, you don't think white people were slaves? I'm enslaved to a fucking horny demon every night that sucks my soul, idiot. And I'm white. I'm from Sweden, and I'm a slave to a sex demon.
It sucks that that even with all of Sweden's high taxes and social services, they don't have demon support.
It's true. They got rid of the exorcisms.
Yep.
They only do Islamic exorcisms now, and they have demons spawning in the no-go zones. That's where the spawners are, and you can't get to them. You can't mine all the way into the spawner because they put bedrock around it.
You can. Well, that demon's making what's his face?
That's the problem.
Woo, shit.
Oh, there
We
was
need less bedrock.
Horny.
some of the Fatty adjacent people. They had an incident in their lives where they were traveling across the country to do some sort of ghost hunting thing,
Fatty adjacent.
and their lug nuts were loose, I guess, or
Say that again.
yeah, they were a few lug nuts short of a tire, but the tire came off the car while they were going like 80 on the highway, and they had to pull over on the side of the road, and they decided that instead of getting a tow truck or calling AAA or something, or trying to fix the tire, they would just go to sleep on the shoulder of the highway with all the lights off on the car.
They're drunk.
And then a truck came by and sideswiped the car and smashed it. And they were pretty okay, considering. They didn't really have to go to the hospital.
That's good.
But then what happened was this guy who was also in the paranormal community, he told that guy that what happened was it had to do with a demon named Pazuzu, that they didn't do a prayer before doing some sort of investigation into Pazuzu, and then Pazuzu infested this guy's girlfriend and made her loosen the lug nuts on his car to try to kill him.
Oh.
L
even
demons,
though-
L demons, L demons.
It wasn't the tire that, like, they weren't hurt by the tire. They were hurt by being on the highway. Like, I've had a tire fall off of my car before, and I called someone, and they had it towed. Like, I immediately called someone. So he broke up with his girlfriend because of this. And then the guy that convinced him of this,
Demonic
he
bitch.
went to his house to live with him, and that guy tried to fuck him. And he also had cameras in his bathroom, and there was also mold all over the house.
Okay, well,
And
that's
the whole
what
thing
the
smelled
cameras
like
were
pee.
for. Cameras were for to watch the mold.
Been waiting for Felix to hear about this. It's such a fucking funny
Oh my
thing. Like,
God.
hey, you know your girlfriend's possessed, right? You can come live with me. I won't fuck you. Then he tries.
And then he
me,
tries
man.
to fuck this guy. He tries to
so
fuck this guy.
cool.
And then the guy goes back to like his mom's house and does all these streams where he gets all pissed off and he's like showing pictures of the guy's bathroom and like really just like calling him out for trying to molest this guy. And then they make back and forth streams for a while and like threaten to sue each other. And there are people that are like on the guy who like tried to fuck him's side because
Well,
of,
he
like,
was just possessed by a
pre-existing-
demon of lust.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that is
Pazuzu?
true.
You can
It
hardly
was
blame
probably
him.
Pazuzu.
He was possessed by Chuck Berry.
I'm sort of stuck. I'm sort of stuck on the girlfriend loosening the lug nuts. Did she like tearfully confess, and then to get out of it was like, oh, it was Pazuzu actually. Like she tried to kill her ghost hunting boyfriend for some.
I'm sure the guy that lied about it is like, yeah, it was actually Pazuzu who made your girlfriend do it. And when he's like, when you confront your girlfriend, she's gonna be like, what? That's fucking ridiculous. She's gonna say that. And when she says that, that's the demon. That's when you know it's time to go, bud. Come
Yeah,
fuck
I think
me.
that's what it was. Like he set it
Yeah.
up to Because she would have been like, what? And then he, like, yeah.
He'd be like, oh, that's Pazuzu's language.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of this story is that when, like, heavily inconvenienced, his number one go-to move is to just fall asleep. Just see if it gets better the next day.
So funny.
Yeah, like you're going to respawn.
He's like, all right, it's fine.
I don't know how you fall asleep on the shoulder of the highway with trucks coming by.
Whiskey.
Like, that's...
He's soft
even when I'm like
resetting.
driving and like there's an 18-wheeler that comes by, I'm like, ooh.
He's quitting the game and hoping to like wake up in like some like hospital somewhere, just being like, all right, cool, I get to start from here again.
Well, guys like
I'm
that,
back
they
in my
have
safe
experiences like that a
Force
lot.
respawn.
Like how people used to talk about like Jimson weed or doing a bunch of Benadryl or like the worst Arrowhead trip stuff. Like it's basically like an ocarina that you pull out from your inventory that transports you to the hospital.
I imagine like
guys like that, that's a common thing for them, I think, that they have like things that they do where it's, well, I touched that item and I woke up in the hospital.
He would just fall asleep with like a Pringle can on his hand and then wake up and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And like his mom would just pull it off and he goes, well, obviously sleeping helps. Gets rid of all my inconveniences. All right.
Yeah,
that's what I gotta do.
That is a tell that he's lived his life causing problems that the people most affected by the problems have just gone, oh, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah. They've
cut our
tried to
losses, stop
explain
dealing with this guy.
Yeah, it's very pre-modern, and I don't think it's something that's come back. I think it was just always there, where these people who have like objectively shitty lives and they were let down by the system, and I'm sure they all have lead in their trailers and all that shit and formaldehyde and
Yeah, now he's leading people into
childhood
his
malnutrition. Yeah.
To paint that picture more for you, Felix, they both look like the luring old gay guy that tried to fuck him, that made up all the lies, is very like Danny McBride wearing denim and like a dog collar type guy, and then the other guy G is like just dumb like Seth Rogen frayed hat wearing guy. That's like,
he's a Serbian
and if
guy
wants
who's
to come
like,
fuck with me. Well, you could fuck with me, but I'll probably kill you.
he's good looking. He's kind of like a white trash scumbag guy.
Yeah,
He's had a lot. He owes child support.
handsome bad boy. He has baby mamas.
Yeah, that type of guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can just do an IOU for child support, right?
Yeah, when they turn 18, I'll take care of it.
Hey, I got you later. Not
I'm
right
gonna
now.
get a sugar daddy like Andrew R.
Yeah, I was
But the way they blame like all of the consequences of like being like believing in ghosts and all this fake shit and being delusional and removed from reality and smoking meth and all of this shit you're not supposed to do, all the consequences of it, they attribute to demons.
Well,
Like medieval peasants would have. Like if something goes wrong, it's a demon. It's a possession. That's the only way they can explain it. And if someone pushes back on it, that's a fake person and you have to cut them out of your life completely.
Well, what if we made an all-white Crash sequel based on these people, and the handsome white trash Serbian guy?
we can call it Snow Crash.
Yes, Snow Crash. He's behind on child support payment for the last time, and he may have to do a year in county. But then he, for his last meal, he orders pizza from DoorDash, and who arrives 2 hours later with a cargo shorts sized ass imprint on the pizza, but Andrew R15 showing up with the exact amount he owes in child support as recompense for the late pizza.
$1,500. I'm so sorry, I was 30 minutes late. Please give me 5 stars.
Yeah, I was like, he had a post about like wanting to get his CDL and be a trucker, and I was laughing at the idea of him delivering an entire truckload of stuff late and then giving the guy like $10,000. Or just losing all this shit. Like, it literally did fall out the back of a truck and some guys picked it up.
I always wonder those USPS carriers are that end up getting like felonies because they find like just 3 months of mail just in a dumpster somewhere.
Yes, the mail version
Exactly
of
that guy.
the classic crematorium scam.
That is my
Just
favorite
say that
thing.
you're a crematorium. Yeah, it's such a funny idea. You were posting about that, and I was reading about some of the real examples where some guy is running a crematorium and eventually like something goes wrong with the oven or he just gets lazy and then they just start putting him in the shed or like putting him in the garage or something.
And just giving the family like a vase full of dirt and being like, this is your dad.
Yeah, they would put like cigarette ash in a cup and then give it to him. And
Just stuffing these bodies into the walls like you're a cartel member
God,
because you don't feel like
be really
burning
fucked
them.
up to put a bunch of like just like ash in there from like a big like fire pit, and then like one chicken bone, but it's like a coffee can, so it rattles. Here you go.
They there was
Stupid.
like in 2002 or 2003, it was like very soon, relatively after 9/11 and the DC sniper. There was a story in like Georgia where they found 48, human remains buried in this plot of land, and people were like, "Oh no, what nefarious thing is this?" And people were like, just hyping it up. Is this a cult burial ground? Like, what is this? And no, it was just a crematorium that got lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
was
one of
reading one
those.
of those stories, and they were speculating that it was some sort of like improper ventilation thing in the crematorium, and they were getting the mercury from tooth fillings into the air, and that's what made that guy go insane. And it was just making me think, like, why do we even cremate people? Like, why can't you just dump it in the ground?
It's people that
Dig
don't
a
want to pay for
hole and put it
funerals.
in.
Save some space in the ground.
Cash money.
Like, why do we have to light it on
running out
fire?
of ground. We had so many people die.
Well, not here. I mean, in Paris, they run out of
In
ground.
Japan, they
but-
do it right. They bury you in a suit that's filled with mushrooms, and when you die, you brought a bunch of mushrooms and plants and shit out
That's
of you.
what's up.
I want to be just bones at one
That's
point.
not for like everybody. It's a special thing you buy, but they have it.
At some point, I would like to be reduced to just bones.
I think you could toss
Like,
my
why
body
turn into ash right away? You're like, really? You're skipping all of the decomposition.
Well, you
like,
don't
only,
get to be the
you-
bones.
Yeah, you do.
I
You,
do.
you only
don't
get
get
one
to be-
You don't
chance.
get to be a
No.
skeleton.
Like, when are you going to
to
get another chance to decompose as a human body?
Your skeleton
Never.
is your soul.
Well, actually, I would argue that fat he is decomposing. As
That is true. If you have if
I
you
think
have
you-
gangrene on your foot as a 39-year-old, you can sort of experience a
I think
little
that's
piece of
a
what
few
it's like to
Oh
be.
man, I'm such a bot at Fortnite because I got these bot flies flying around me.
Oh,
So nasty.
things keep laying eggs
My
in me.
parents told me when I was like a kid that like, hey, if we both die in a car accident, you have to make sure we get cremated because we don't want worms eating us.
Oh,
That is
Gives
that,
a
that-
shit.
Thanks,
that's,
Mom. Good night.
That's what's supposed to happen. Why don't you want to be like returned to some, like you're giving someone food? You're giving a worm food.
I
Isn't
will
that
tell
nice?
my kids, son, if I die, I want you to find my phylactery and destroy it. Make sure my spirit does not live on.
I can't afford to live on as a lich.
I don't want to be here anymore.
I keep telling my
Tell your
wife
kid
just
that.
just to throw me in the trash or like go down to the Everglades, throw my body in there, let the alligators go
Yeah.
down.
That would
What do I
honestly
care?
be pretty sick to be
Let
in the
Brian
Everglades.
Laundry Country decide.
Yeah, where's Brian
Yeah.
Laundry? Take care of me, dog.
that was there was a big fear in like sort of around the Enlightenment and the Renaissance among like this was an early like hysteria where people were terrified that they would like be thought to be dead but just in a deep sleep for like 2 days and then buried alive.
Oh, they
so
would
like
get the ding ding bell.
yeah, George Washington made people wait for 5 days. They're like, after I die, just like give me 5 days and then you can bury me. So I think it sort of stems
Good
from
idea.
that, which I definitely understand. Like buried alive is probably one of the worst things. But I don't know. As always, the Japanese have it right with the mushrooms because
Yeah.
then even if you are buried alive, you can eat them for energy and bust
True.
out.
Yep.
That's
Getting
true.
buried in-
That makes
getting
sense.
buried in Cliff Bars.
Can you bury me with Monster Energy, maybe some Bud Light?
Can you charge my Steam Deck before you bury me?
Oh, unironically, don't they have coffins where they'll play like a certain show for like months after you die or whatever, like a video? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's my my Siege highlights they'll play on. My...
I mean, I was going to say that sounds really stupid, but I think two of the people that would want that are in this call.
Yeah.
That would want like Law and Order or Nip Tuck playing in the after prison break.
yeah. I would want people to watch SVU at my tomb.
Mhm.
I would want
I
it
think
to be like an
dead sex
activity.
offenders- Dead sex offenders should have to watch it
At
forever.
the start of Felix's funeral, they do the gong gong to get rid of the
I would use all the money left in my estate to pay for like an appearance
man.
by Christopher Maloney and Mariska Hargitay.
Ice-T would show up for free. Be like, This cat was one funny motherfucker on Twitter. I remember seeing his tweets back in 2012, 15 years ago. Act like you're dying like I'm 71 years old now.
Oh, so
Well,
I used to be a judge, and I got sued for playing the Law and Order theme out of a Bluetooth speaker.
Stupid.
They have someone in every courtroom making sure you don't do it.
Wow.
It's like the guys that they send to shows to sue you for playing a cover song, like the little secret shoppers. That was my other job before that, was to go to concerts and then snitch on the guys to
Undercover
Aerosmith
DMCA
or
agent.
whoever.
I'm an agent of one of those four-letter agencies, DMCA.
Giving a DMCA to Cat Turd's band for playing a cover of Sweet Emotion in real life.
Well, Cat Turd 2.
Cat Turd 2, that's
Let's be
right.
respectful.
Cat Turd's leftist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I-
leftist now.
That's
I
why got banned.
appreciated you hitting back at like the disinformation about Cat Turd today.
Yeah, people need. If you're gonna
Yeah,
dox,
people
do it right.
They found a different guy named
Be
Philip L.
respectful.
Buchanan, which is a very common name. It's all the Scotch-Irish that we unfortunately let in. There was another guy, Philip Lamar Buchanan, Philip Lawrence Buchanan. They're different guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different guy. He looks like a Chad. He's got a ponytail. He looks like Jesse Ventura. Then he brought a gun to Walmart and like shot at the employees because he shit his pants or something. Like a really cool thing that Cat Turd would never have the nuts to do.
Yeah.
He would never have the nuts to have a freak out in public.
Oh man, that's the thing. It's like, who thinks that Cat Turd's like that cool? Or is like this big rugged like Jesse Ventura looking biker guy that's gonna
Right.
open fire? Like, okay,
Cat Turd has like the thinning hair, but not the ponytail, no
Yeah.
facial hair, and he's just like a normal kind of weaselly guy in Florida.
Yeah, he looks like a cop.
do you remember those pictures in the highlights magazines of the dentist where they were super zoomed in? You had to guess what they were. You would think Cat Turd's ankles were Slim Jim zoomed in. Like, those are two Slim Jims.
His album is so good. I've listened to the whole thing. I'm the
Yeah, his
only
beanies
person
are
that's
too.
listened to it. Julian Field sent it to me, and he sent me the cover and the back cover and the inside flap, and it's amazing. It's great.
I
The
need
groovy
I need
grapes.
to find a way to get his book for free. 'Cause
Oh,
then
yeah, he
I'll
has
read
a
his
book that's-
He has two
ever
books.
heard of the
That
library?
really bothered me. It bothered me. Well,
No, I've
we
never.
can't be
Has
on the Internet
library
Archive
ever
now.
Cat Turd?
No, it's not a kid's book. Or no, one of them is a kid's book, I think. But
He
it
was,
bothered
sort
me
of.
that it says a Cat Turd novel on the front of it. Like,
On
why
both.
can't he put his name on it? Like, one, he registered Cat Turd LLC to his real name.
Whoa, let me show you
That's
why
public
he can't.
record.
He shot up a Walmart.
Oh, that's right. But
Spread this around.
like, I was thinking about the people that I follow or the people that are on Twitter, people that got famous with an account, and they have a book under their real name.
Mhm.
Many of them.
Alex
like Branson, Alex Branson, a lot of people. Chapo Trap House.
Branson's a pre-name before his first name, Branson.
Well, it's Branson, Alex Branson. He just
Oh,
his pen name
that's
is Alex
cool.
Branson.
It's like John Valjean.
Yeah, but like if he sold his book, if Cat Turd sold his book with his name on it, like no one would buy. No one's already buying his book, but
Well,
no
yeah.
one would buy it
Yeah,
with
what,
his name.
I don't
on
know. You can sell it on the account, but it doesn't. It can have your real name on it.
That one lady whose face is shaped like a snood bought it.
The shit my dad says guy, he puts out stuff under his real name.
Yeah,
His
Yeah,
book
Felix,
is under his
Felix
real name.
Biederman.
Yeah.
but like no one. They trust me, and I'm an expert on the subject of Cat Turd merchandise. I've gone through many
owns
photos
me
and
too.
evidence. And there's the beanie, there's the shirts, there's the mugs, there's some stickers, but you hardly see the book because those people aren't reading a book.
Readers, yeah.
They understand, like, I just need to show people that I like this little Cat Turd guy. I don't need to like read no fucking
If
book.
I was one of those guys, I would have a book that has no pictures at all, but it would be called "This Book Is Full of Pictures." Like that's the title. I would sell a shitload. Be like, damn, this is sick. Then they would get it and be like, oh, I get it. It's ironic. I'm gonna buy 14 of these for my nephews.
A word is worth 1,000 pictures.
Does Dr. Interracial have a children's book?
Oh man, I don't think so, but he should.
Yeah. It should be
Dr.
under his
Interracial.
screen name too.
Who is Dr. Interracial?
Dr.
you don't know?
Interracial is like a MAGA account I've recently found where it's like one of those like leathery 61-year-old white women who's always at Mar-a-Lago who's just like She's
Linda.
probably yeah, someone who is like,
Hey, honey.
yeah, molesting Kyle Rittenhouse after the verdict. Like, you just gotta party, honey. You'll never be young again.
Looks like the lesbian I hooked up with in college.
Isn't he handsome? Can't remember, honey. Have lots of sex. You're never gonna be young again. You'll regret it even if you have the most. Trust me.
Oh God.
And her name is Dr. Interracial?
Yeah, because she's married a black
She's
man.
married to a black guy.
Yeah.
And all their output is just like, oh, here we are at the Republican National Convention. We haven't found any Nazis. We've been married 15 years. Have never met anyone racist.
Pin tweet, married for 15 years, still haven't met any white supremacists. We are proof that the USA isn't racist.
There you go. They're sweet. They run our private server on World of Warcraft. It's just very
It's the same thing as like the whole genre of interracial porn. It's like, why do you have to point it out?
Yeah.
Why do you have to say it? Why can't it just be a couple? Why do you have to say what
it's
race?
It's a fetish, Alex. Respect the kinks.
I know it is. That's why
I'm literally just being like.
Would you
face.
believe
I
that?
think it's gauche to point out the race of people.
They are keto as well as.
No way.
You would
Oh,
be surprised that.
Oh, okay.
That should be a porn category right
50-year-olds.
there. Keto porn.
People who smell bad and always have diarrhea.
Yeah.
There are lots of cuts during the scene as both of them have to run to the toilet.
Just guys pounding away
You just see
farting
one of their faces go
disgustingly.
like, and then it cuts.
I do
And it's
like
there's a clock and it's 3 hours later.
We've talked about keto and carnivore so many times, but it's great that keto is like the chicken fingers and French fries diet for so many boomers. That's just like now they found out a way to like avoid eating vegetables by saying it's bad for them, not just they don't like it. I can't eat it.
It annoys me when people do that, when they try to find like a back way into eating the same junk food.
Yeah.
Like you had 50 years of eating junk food every day. Just have a salad.
When my dad was like an IT guy and he worked with a bunch of other like Far Side shaped men, as well as him, and they all started doing keto and they're all like 300 plus pounds. So of course they lost like an instant, 20, 30 pounds and got hooked on it, whatever.
Because of the calories.
Knowing all of those fucking fat bastards from my whole life, like going to like the work barbecues and stuff, there's those guys like they're the live to eaters, not the eat to livers. Like
Yes.
Now they're eating the livers.
they enjoyed the diet. Yeah, exactly. They enjoyed the diet way too much for even I was like 13. I was like, this shit ain't working. You're doing something, but it ain't gonna work.
Those people all just love to eat until they feel physically sick, like they can't move.
Yeah, they look like the TikToks, those big guys that do the synchronized dancing.
They
I
have
don't
like
like that feeling.
two hamburgers and they're like, I'm not full yet because I'm not in pain. No, that feeling sucks. Eating
Yeah, I
too
will
much
do
is
whatever I
awful.
can to avoid that feeling.
I hate that feeling. That feeling feels like there's poop trying to be squeezed out of every hole.
Yeah, you just feel stuffed. You feel like, oh, well, I just can't do anything
That is like
anymore.
literally when, like, I hate just being that guy. Like, I'll be that guy with this big plate of food. I'm like, all right, time to make some poop. Just to be disgusting because it's like all this delicious food. But that's when you really feel like you're making poop. When you feel like that full. When you eat past like what your body wants you to. You're just like, oh, it's like, good job, turd maker.
I feel like my body
Go.
can't even make poop at that point when I get that full. It just sits in me for like as punishment.
Yeah.
Just like, nah, we're
Yeah,
not.
you're
we're
reaching a point where
we're
it's-
keeping this inside of you
No,
until
we're gonna make this some
the
poop and
very
send it
end.
back up the other way.
I don't know what the limiting factor is, if it's like the esophagus or the stomach or the intestines or the kidneys, but something starts getting backed up. Something's at 100% CPU and the fan's running really hot, and then something else is like there's a little drip of poop coming through, but it's like I don't know, you got to unclog it.
One of my favorite lies online was this guy that was on a forum that Andrew and I were both on when we were like 17. And he said that one time, he's like, my diet was so poor during the summer, I didn't poop for days and days until I had a turd all the way in the back of my throat. And it's like, you didn't. Like, it was back up all over his mouth and he just started trying to puke the turds out.
Have I told you the
funniest
story
ever.
about the girl from my gym that like she had a boyfriend that she didn't want to poop around? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
I'll bring it up again. Just
Go ahead and
I'll
tell it
just
again.
tell it because I brought up this damn story. This was like, this was like someone I trained. It was their friend or whatever, and she had a boyfriend that she was really into and didn't want to poop around him. Like they they didn't live together, but if they were like doing a sleepover or whatever and she had to shit in the middle of the night, she'd get up and go to the gas station because she didn't want
I remember
the
this now.
boyfriend to smell the shit smell like in his sleep. And then they went on like a 2-week vacation to Thailand, and in Thailand she just continued not pooping around him but could never escape to like a different building to shit, so she didn't shit for 2 weeks and then started having like really bad stomach pains and then had to go to the hospital and have all the poop sucked out with the vacuum.
That's so stupid.
Which I
Jesus.
think is more embarrassing than it like having to light a match or.
I think I would break up with her if she didn't poop for 2 weeks on purpose and then had to go to the hospital when we were on vacation. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is such a pain in the ass. Your poop prank you did.
Yeah, it'd be so funny if she was all scared of that, and then she like lets out a fart, and she's like, "Oh no, he's gonna smell it." She leaves the room, and she comes back, he just leaned over like, just sniffing her seat. Like,
Lay
he just
after
loves
girl
it.
pee
She's
smell.
like, wait a minute. So funny.
Yeah, but like you can't even fart with that much poop in your system because it's gonna
No.
stink like complete shit. It's gonna smell like a turd.
God,
Yep.
it's just I don't want
It's
to
gonna
think
smell
about
like Play-Doh rolled in gasoline at that point.
it. Speaking of that, cooking with Jack
R.I.P.
is someone who is in a nursing home right now at age 53, and he has to have help going to the bathroom to shit because he can't walk. And he is every single day sending his breakfast and lunch back because they didn't give him enough meat. They didn't give him enough food. He is making poop. He is doing what you said. He's eating as much food as possible so he can make a bunch of poop that like a nurse has to clean off of him.
Yep. And then that stuff comes out just like with Jack. It's not like a regular human. It's gonna come out kind of solid and just cut off and fall in the toilet or whatever, or it'll come out kind of diarrhea-y. With Jack, it's big sections that just break off like horse shit.
Yeah. Jack's intestines are like a fucking centrifuge. Like that he just has like gaseous weird craps that are probably shaped like the infinity symbol when they come out.
Yeah, doctors always have to remember how to spell noxious when they're writing notes on them.
It's a perfect double helix.
So remember at last Thanksgiving how Jack sent freeze-dried Thanksgiving dinner to his church friend's son who was stationed in Germany for military training?
Yeah, they don't have food there.
You can't get food in Germany.
That soldier should send the freeze-dried turkey and mashed potatoes back to him in the hospital because I assume he never ate it. And then Jack wouldn't have to bitch anymore.
Well, he doesn't eat his own cooking. That's the problem.
So
Unless it's a dessert, he doesn't eat his own cooking and just goes out to eat.
So Jack's current problem is that he's always bitching about being in pain, but the nurses keep trying to push pain medicine on him. That's what I've been seeing lately.
I don't even get he said he refused Oxy 12 times, but now he has severe pain that's at a 10, which it isn't if you can write a coherent Facebook post.
Yeah.
And
here's what I think
so
actually
I don't know
happened.
if he wants it or not. Like
Here's what I think actually happened. He turned it down a bunch of times. He's trying to be the tough guy. Now he's been there 2 weeks. He took the Oxy at some point because Tammy probably told him in the middle of the night, like, just take the meds for tonight. Quit calling me. Get some sleep. And he took it and realized that's the only fun he can have in that place.
Yeah.
He wants gabapentin. He wants gabapentin
Loser.
instead
He
of
wants
Oxy.
Neurontin?
Yeah,
Well,
he
it's
said
weird.
it helped his nerve pain
He has
before.
nerve
and
pain
he-
in his.
He
I'm sure it
refuses to get on
has.
Oxy because he thinks that's like what these are what the users get. Like, as soon as I do Oxy, I'm gonna get like addicted to it. And it's like, well, Jack, yes.
Well,
should.
yes, but you are.
Yeah,
dying.
you're addicted to chili.
Like,
Yeah,
this is the
I
last
know.
6 months of your life.
You're
So,
not.
when people say like, if I was just gonna die, or if I was like 90, I think I would just like do heroin and cocaine every day and shit, and like and get drunk and like he's at that point.
Right.
Some comedians are like, dude, if I get to 40, I'm...
Like if someone's on their deathbed, it doesn't matter if they get addicted to morphine.
He's 53, though. He's not dying. Come on now.
He's lived 180 Scalafini years.
It's so crazy. He's 53. He's like, he's 10 years younger than my
Dying
dad.
with Jack.
So this is episode
BWJ.
100, right? And I was thinking of like what could be the ultimate episode 100 riff. And I know that's like kind of, building it up, but I think this kind of encompasses the show. Okay. March, They leak Justin Verlander's ass in the fappening.
Perfect. Homer Simpson discovering the fappening. But he would definitely see like Maud in there too, and like a bunch of other
Maud died.
Simpsons women.
I was talking about that yesterday on the stream, how I think you have to cut The Simpsons off after season 12 at the
I'm
earliest.
such a Ben Hughes follower. I always forget she died. I see her every day.
Well, she's alive in all of our hearts, and Ned still has the impression of her in his bed. That's why he couldn't date that country singer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Maud has to die. She has to get hit by the t-shirt cannon and fall off the bleachers.
I hate Alex's new bit of knowing all of the Simpsons lore, including the new seasons.
That's the best
Well, it's
season.
not really.
now.
I
Really
mean,
annoying.
the new seasons is real. I mean, we're talking about stuff that happened when I was 11.
Yeah, that's new. You're 12.
I guess it is kind of new. But yeah.
I want to see some episode synopsises from Simpsons season 34, where we're at right now.
I was at the gym one time a couple years ago, and it was on TV, and Bart had an iPhone, and I just don't even want to really think about it. Like, I don't want to. I don't even want to make fun of it, really, because I don't.
Well, you don't like Otto wearing a mask?
Oh boy. Well, Otto is just Scotty Allen Day. Like, we've seen what modern day Otto in real life is. The bus driver who loves Motley Crue and he's drunk all the time.
If that was Otto in 1988, that would be fucking him. He would be Scotty Allen Day now. It's so fucking true.
Yeah. Here's that guy.
Episode 12 of season 34, titled My Life as a Vlog. Through a series of YouTube recommended videos, the story of the rise and fall of the Simpsons family vlog is revealed.
Oh, so this Shaytard's late. Sucks.
Oh boy, that's awesome. Simptards. That's what they called the episode, Simptards.
Simptards. No, that's my other podcast. We were talking about e-girls.
Oh God, the Simpcast. That's the podcast Melanie Mack does with Chrissy Mayer and all these other.
That's a real one. That sucks.
It's sort of the girl version of us.
That's one of the podcasts that those guys give like their moms $100 to.
AR-15 has given Melanie Mack $250 this week.
That we know of.
On YouTube.
Because that's true, because he could have delivered something to her house and given her more money.
He's giving $100 super chats under every YouTube video she uploads.
Yeah.
And he works as a pizza delivery driver. It's fucking insane. She doesn't even follow him.
Here's my impression of him. Oh, and Melanie, here's that attention you ordered. Sorry, it's late.
It's so fucked up. Like, don't do that. And it's fucked up that she, like, well, I guess she doesn't follow him, so she doesn't know that he drops a pizza on the ground and then falls in and gets pizza on his face and then gives a guy $200 cash in recompense for the pizza falling on the ground and then his ass falling in it.
Oh my God, he's
How do you take $100 a day from that guy? He lives with his dad.
He's Heaven Homer.
Yeah, he's Heaven Homer. He's Hell Homer if he got religion.
Heaven Homer's so good. Oh, fuck. Hey, let's think of this guy. Heaven Homer halfway.
Ooh.
She's that Melanie Mack. I'm sorry, but Melanie Mack is so fucking stupid. I'm looking at the post where it's like a crack.com joke. And she's like, oh, look, identity politics has come to Lord of the Rings. Go and touch some grass. And it's like a crack.com thing where they're joking that like none of the dwarf actors ever got to play a hobbit or a dwarf.
Yeah,
Lord of
I
the
saw
Rings.
that.
She's such a fucking idiot. She's so
funny
fucking
to hear her
dumb.
say, go touch some grass. Then she reaches back and to pull her hair into a ponytail and it crunches.
Yeah.
It's like actual grass.
Man. She's very dim-witted, and she's like worse at keeping up with that shit than someone like The Quartering, even.
Yeah.
Or any of those dumb guys, because she was just a gamer girl. She was going to coast her whole life on just being the girl who knows about Tomb Raider. That's all she did. And then she had to switch to being Christian at some point, but even like the guys that you can tell how dumb she is by the guys that follow her. Like, it's not Pepe guys, it's not Groypers. It's none of those guys who are.
It's the pizza delivery driver who tips
That
you.
is true.
It's guys who are
Also,
like,
the guy that's always on the oxygen machine that bags at Kroger, and he's between Melanie Mack tweets. He tweets at fucking local meteorologist on his local news and goes, "Hi Megan, I work at this Kroger. If you're ever gonna be there, I could bag for you and walk you to your car." And
That's
anyway,
so grim,
okay.
man.
And,
Oh,
it's just like,
fucking God.
obviously that guy's a little slow too, but that's her whole thing.
Right. It's guys who are like on the extreme border region. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on the
they're not.
extreme...
They're low IQ. So
Yeah.
Andrew and I have determined that there's nothing actually wrong with them. They are just incredibly stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one guy definitely has a breathing issue.
Well, yeah.
I mean, him. That's
Well, he's
different.
getting more oxygen than the rest of us.
I would argue that like at least like socially, Andrew R is on the other side of that border. He's a cash flow negative minimum wage worker.
Bitch.
I mean, most of those guys are on the spectrum, but you can say that about like any of us.
I mean,
Not
I
me,
guess.
baby,
I
AT&T.
guess.
Yeah, I'm Google fired, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I've never been cash flow negative at a job like
No one's
that.
ever accused me of autism, let me tell you.
This guy who loves maps? No way.
It is true though that you can kind of like judge the savviness of a content creator or whatever by the tenor of their fans. I mean, like
Yeah.
Melanie Mac, I don't think Varg would even like waste the breath of calling her Jewish.
Oh my god.
He would not even like he wouldn't even waste
That's
his
a feud
time.
I want to see.
No, he would not even care.
No.
He would just be like, "Oh yeah, Jew. Bye. Don't
She's
care."
also too fake. Like it's this weird. It's this like far right, extremely online, 20-something, 30-something normie soy thing, where they love Marvel movies and Deadpool flat brims and Funko Pops and all of that kind of shit, and like simping for e-girls. But then they're also like trad right wingers. Like all this stuff. It just doesn't compute to me.
It's everything that doesn't mix, but they're like, how can I justify being a hateful piece of shit because trans shit and gay shit freaks me out because my parents are as dumb as I am.
Yeah.
How can I continue to be
I was about
this
to
gamer
say,
guy, but then also be a hateful piece of shit?
It's the gamer mentality with their parents' belief system because they still live with their parents. They still like Steven TV is the best example of this because he is like ostensibly not as like
He's been a neat as
he's
long
not
as
as
I've known
low
all
yeah
of you.
but he's not like a low IQ sort of like in like
He wrote a book.
AR-15. Yeah, he's like he can do stuff. He can
tell,
function
though.
better.
You can tell. He's the motherfucker that spends more time trying not to work on anything and never getting a job. He spent 120% more effort not doing any of that shit.
AR-15 works 100 hours a week and makes negative $300 at his job.
And then he somehow gives it to Melanie Mac.
Yeah, and Steven TV like spends all that time just not working. Just not doing anything. And like asking his parents to like
Not true.
asking
He
his
mods
parents
for a
to
bunch
like
of women.
that's true. He mods for Melanie. Well, not a bunch of women, just Melanie, because she's a great Christian girl and she's based.
She's a great Christian girl, and she's gonna fuck one of us one day if we keep modding for her.
No,
giving her 100.
They don't do that.
Oh no.
They don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
They realize that like God in his wisdom, if he chooses to reward them with a woman similar to Melanie Mac, go boom. That would be great, but they're not asking for that. They know how powerful prayer can be.
They saw people saying fuck the mods and like, wait a minute, I got it.
Yep.
This is what we have to do.
Steven's 5-head for that. No, it's like when Tom and I were doing the War Thunder sponsored stream this week, and then I said anybody that gets to level 5 in a win or whatever, I was like, if you get there, like, not only will we'll always do anything for you, like we love you and you have a chance with both of us. We should, we don't tell anyone along. We say maybe, but
Maybe. Hey,
no promises.
it could happen.
As long as you're giving us money, we may date you. So keep doing it.
and Steven
At the
just
very least, we might be your friend.
he where
So cool.
he just like quote tweeted Melanie Mac with this picture that he made, and I can read it for the audience.
Oh yeah.
A picture of her.
Oh
It
wow.
says, "Warning! I found this picture of an extremely based woman. She can think for herself and come up with her own opinions. She likes video games and anime. Keep a lookout. Oh, and she's a Christian. You've been warned. Melanie Mac, go boom."
Fuckhead.
Boy.
That probably took him 3 hours to make.
So I
that's
forgot to
cool.
mention when I realized that AR-15 was coming onto my feed regularly to check if I stole his prayers, I started posting all this most sexual Bible verses, and like Rembrandt nude paintings of Bible scenes to try to see if I could get him to relapse on Rembrandt paintings and Bible verses.
I wondered why you were doing
Did I ever tell you guys the
$15.99
story?
Geneva Bible, by the way.
On that same it was just like this little like it was one of those like hot or not type sites, but then just devolved into just the forums like a lot of those did back in the day. And this one girl this is like 2008ish era, and this one girl always got made fun for being a hipster because she was like the quintessential like at this time like New York art school student in like 08, 09. She was literally it's what Marjorie Taylor Greene would call a hipster now. Like that's what she looked like. But she was sick of people just saying it ironically about anything she posts. So the way to get banned from that site was always to post just like naked body parts or whatever, and admin would ban you. And this girl made a thread saying like "fuck all you," blah blah blah, and then she posted a bunch of pictures, and it was all fucking statues like busts and shit. And the admin's like, "Okay, those aren't just art.
It's
It's
the same thing they're doing in Florida now.
It's so funny.
But it's the reverse of that.
Trying to post fucking naked statues to get banned from a site, and they're like, "Oh,
Okay, it's art. It's fine.
Okie that's so funny."
You can't look at Michelangelo's David's little penis anymore in Florida.
That's my
Bummer.
wife goes on my computer and just like goes open to my folder titled "School." Don't look, and it's just pictures of naked statues.
I'm a classicist.
I'm gonna make that up. I'm gonna Photoshop right now. They got rid of Michelangelo's penis. It's penis de Milo now. It's missing. There's nothing there. It's smooth. Trump rubbing his hand on the Mons pubis. There's nothing. It's smooth.
They made it all smooth. There's nothing down there.
He gets all tender. They made it all smooth.
They made it all smooth.
Fuck.
Ron DeSantos, she's a Hispanic woman.
All I need in my ears is the Howard Stern perfect mic compression with Donald Trump on the other one for 4 hours. That's all I want to hear.
Yeah,
never
but he
happen
has
now
to
'cause
go
Trump
crazy.
hates
It has to
him.
be him
For
like
4
after they
hours,
give him
Trump would go
medication.
crazy. Like tell him they're not on air. Just let him talk.
Yeah, the last time he got interviewed on there was when he was talking about marrying Melania and doing the prenup and stuff.
Yep.
But he should just ask him
I've
the same
watched
stuff
it.
now. Like,
Felix, we gotta have a Howard night with you again.
Yeah, we do.
Howard, I've been revisiting old Howard again on my personal channel, and it's just what was one we watched the other night that was really good, Alex? Oh, Phil Collins was a good one.
oh yeah,
Phil Collins, Howard Stern in like '87 or something, and it was
Big
just,
Fat Mustard Tiger.
Yeah, Philadelphia Collins. No, he did Coming in the Air Tonight live in the studio.
yeah.
It was actually a really good performance.
Phil Collins really does come off as an asshole, as a boring
Yes.
asshole. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very hack to make fun of Phil Collins, and he has some great songs.
Whereas
But,
John Cena had the greatest interview I've ever seen on Howard Stern. When Howard's trying to like get him over and over, he's like, "What's the biggest girl you've been with?" And John he's like, "I don't know, Howard. I don't really kiss and tell, but last week this girl was like 280. I took her home." Like straight up, like just.
How
he's
did he
not
know
fazed.
that? He
Well,
picked her up.
No, he said it was on a dare because he was just so big and they were kind of goofing around at the bar. But then he had such a good time, he just ended up taking her back and having sex with her anyway.
I think what he
He said it
has
was
is he has a platform in his house that's like in a gorilla enclosure where they
Oh, like
put
a
food on
zoo
it.
scale?
Yeah, they wait for them to sit on it, and they don't know it's a scale, and then they
Come on,
get
man.
their weight. Like,
It's not that big. Most scales go up to 280.
no, I'm just saying he has a sort of a platform like that that's like hidden, and there are house plants around it, and all.
No, he probably would have mentioned that actually. He's pretty.
There's
honest.
like a rug over it, but and then he like walks over to her, and it's teared, so it's his weight is subtracted from it, and then I think that's how he got that number.
Even then, though, he did not want to talk shit about Vince McMahon. He was so scared. Howard was trying to get him to, but he wouldn't.
Well,
the one-
smart. Because
thing.
turns out Vince McMahon can do whatever he wants. And he's
Yeah.
still,
Yeah, that's an evil man,
Yeah, very evil man.
but it's leftist to give him money.
You guys
Well,
voted for him.
Wrestling. Yeah. Well, because it's the
Like,
leftist thing to
act like
do.
Vince McMahon.
And
He has an
president.
election every 4 years where the wrestlers go vote.
I thought it was Ed McMahon. I'm sorry.
Oh shit! I thought it was a different guy.
His brother.
I thought he was just a wrestler. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought it was a character.
How do people reconcile that? Because there was like all those people who like they're like I'm the wrestling leftist.
Yeah.
Everyone did their own investigative pieces to come to the shocking conclusion that Vince McMahon has sexually harassed like 9,000 women, and the WWE has had to pay like $1 billion to 32 different women. And it's like they're all like, they all wrote some article that's called like the dark side of the ring, or I wish it was fake, or something like
I don't know
that.
if anyone reconciled it. Like,
But
first of all,
they pay for every fucking event.
We've already gone over a 30-second limit of talking about wrestling on this podcast.
Yeah.
But since it's 100, we'll fit it in a little longer. The leftists that I see that still enjoy wrestling focus on much smaller semi-pro or smaller leagues, which is cool. So I think a lot of the guys in those leagues are just more enjoyable when I see clips of it anyway.
Yeah, but even then, they still fucking go like, "This is much better than WWE."
Oh,
I would.
believe
It's
me,
like
I know,
arguing
yeah,
with like
I
the
know.
kids, and it's like, man, shut up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I let you guys in on
care
a
about
dirty
any of it.
secret?
You been
Yeah.
watching wrestling?
No, but I will watch wrestling. I bought AEW is doing a show in Calgary, and that's like the secondary league. If you're not, it's not affiliated with WWE. It was started by like
Tony Khan, who owns
Jeff
or-
Jarrett.
Tony Khan, the Jags guy,
Yeah,
Anyways,
and Jared Fogle.
it's coming here, and that's where Butcher and Blade wrestle,
Yeah,
and I think it'll be a fun time to go live. Fuck it.
yeah.
That'll be, but like,
Yeah, I'm
going
sure it's a
live is
fun
so
event.
different, too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
seeing the crowd and stuff. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, if I grew up watching wrestling, I'd probably love it now. But I was reading books. I'm just kidding.
There's so when we were at TID this season, and they did the wrestling, which they didn't do last time, right? So it would have been like 2019.
Mhm.
Like I got there in
I saw
time
that big
to,
guy though. The
yeah,
big
I got,
guy who's in Every Time I Die. I can imagine him wrestling because he's
Yeah,
a really
Andy.
big. He's one of the
Andy.
biggest guys.
I got there in time to watch like their headline tag team match, and like it's so predictable the beats of what's going to happen. Where like I think the Blade was getting his ass whooped, and Andy was like on the side, like "Come on, tag me in," and the other guys were fucking cheating and shit. And they tag him, and Andy comes out and he beats both their asses, and they fucking win. And I knew it was going to happen the entire time, and I still popped when it happened. It was cool.
I mean, if you're an adult that's still like mad that it's fake, you definitely shouldn't be trying to consume it. But I know it's not you. Like,
Mhm.
even when I was like 14, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I know it's fake, but they're entertainers. And I try to even explain it to my friends that were like, no, it's fucking fake, right? They're barely even punching them. I'm like, it's like a dance almost. Like, fuck. Still can't get it through to a lot of people, especially the people that were wrestling in high school. That's not wrestling. Not eating and weighing 79 pounds is wrestling. Right?
Earlier, I was watching a bunch of clips of birds and squirrels and cats on the baseball field.
Mhm.
And I was watching that clip of Randy Johnson hitting the bird, and it
Oh, yeah.
turns into powder.
Classic.
And they
That's
had
such
to
a-
find a new baseball rule. Oh, what a great clip!
He destroyed that. I just
Those
think
those
like,
animals on that field. It's like they live at like in like a nighttime world where they have the peanuts everywhere and all of this free food, and it's like the best place you could ever be. But then the lights come on, and there are all these people, and there's nowhere to go. And
One of the hardest pitches in the game at that time too, on a consistent basis. Like the fact that it was his pitch, that bird was.
yeah, that was a
fucked.
very fast ball that hit that bird. And
I
then
mean,
there are
he
other
regulated through like 98, 99.
the other ones are funny where
so
they
cool.
don't hit the bird, but the bird's like within a foot of hitting the ball, and they have to scratch it anyway because it's just so annoying.
ESPN used to suck pitchers even more than they do now. It's awesome. That's why I grew up with like, I mean, Randy deserved it, but sometimes back in like the late 90s and early 2000s, they would only be talking about pitchers basically during a time when there's 3 sports on. Fucking Nolan Ryan and shit.
I
love
think you
them.
should get an automatic win if you hit a bird and make it explode.
True.
You should win the game.
It should
Like
be
a
a
nuke.
strike. It should just be it's a strikeout. Maybe not win the game, but just strike out. Like,
It should
We
be
got a bird
you're like,
sympathizer
oh.
over
How
here.
about this? It should be a birdie.
oh,
You should take a point.
Oh.
You should take a point
Now we're
off the other
talking
team's
sports.
score. How about that?
they should
Pretty
give they should give the birds steroids so they won't die.
If you, actually made a rule like that, like if you hit a bird, you take a point off the other team's score. You'd have all these people releasing doves.
Yeah.
Like the Astros are just releasing doves by the dugout.
That's what
Hey,
that woman's job
there's a-
was in Home Alone 2. She was paid by the Mets to release a bunch of doves outside the stadium.
She lived up in the top of City Field. Nasty.
That's right.
She
yeah,
took Kevin
it's
there.
all bird shit up there.
It's City
Yep.
Field in 91.
Yeah, he went to City Field 91 because they were having church there.
At a big concert.
And they saw Frank, and he looked exactly the same.
Frank was 5 years old and just exactly the same. Just like 5'10", just 350 pounds.
Felix, I was in your home city, Chicago, last weekend, and we were on our way back from the Brookfield Zoo, and we were going through Berwyn. And there's all those beautiful like brick houses there, and I was like, I love how these houses look. I was like, they remind me of the Home Alone house. And our Uber driver, this guy Carlos, almost crashed and turns around and goes, "This not here. That's further north." I'm like, I know. I was so offended. I know where it
It's
is.
not. That is a very nice set in that movie.
Yeah. The owners of that house are one of those fuckers that requested that their property gets blurred on Street View for what reason? Like, I could just watch the movie and
It's
see what
in
your
a
house looks like.
movie.
You prick. But do they think that's going to stop people from finding it and taking pictures? You can go to the geotag on Instagram right now for Home Alone house and see how many motherfuckers just in the past 3 hours posted a selfie there. It's really funny. We're in March 28th right now, and people are still taking Home Alone selfies going, outside this house like all day. It's actually really funny. So I
Soy
don't
facing
understand them
outside the Home
blocking
Alone
it,
house.
But like, bro, they make it so hard to get shit unblurred on Google, because if you try to get shit unblurred, they're like, for what purpose? It's like, I own this place now. Those people had it blurred. They don't even live here. Like,
People drive to Albuquerque to throw pizzas on the Breaking Bad house.
yeah, they had to get a fucking fence or something.
We watched a video, I think it was RV Nate, where he went to different places where Napoleon Dynamite was shot. I think it was Napoleon Dynamite.
That was one of his cooler on location ones.
Yeah, it's nice country up there.
Well, the other one he did, Felix, was where filming locations of Because of Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, which is just
random Arkansas or
places in
Alabama
the
town.
South.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a field in the South.
Oh, and almost nothing that existed in that movie is even there anymore in those towns. It's cool.
But the Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite one, I was like halfway through saying, like, who would be interested in this? Who would come here? Who gives a shit about the high school from Napoleon Dynamite? And then he turns the camera around and there's a line of like 20 cars of people who want to take a picture in front of the Napoleon Dynamite high school.
A lot of people who were born in like 1978. A lot of cuspers.
Yes.
You know? That's what I
Oh,
figure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
figured.
mean, that's a
what
great
he is.
movie, but I
You
mean,
know,
That's what he is. So
That's exactly right. And also just people slightly older than me that were like in college in 2004. That I guess that would be
Yeah.
that right around there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like definitely. Yeah.
I was in 6th grade, and it was a great movie. I still like that movie.
I remember I've told this story before, but I saw it for free in the tiny theater because it was like an MTV Studios preview show, and they were just doing screenings. We were there to see something else, and they were like, "Do you guys want to see this movie for free? Blah blah. We'll give you free popcorn." We're like, "Yeah." It ended up being Napoleon Dynamite. That shit didn't come out for 6 more months, and talking about it. Yeah, not only it felt crazy, it felt like a cousin lie, being like, "Yeah, and everything was like from the '90s, and it's crazy." Everyone's like, "Yeah, okay, man." Then it came out, and they were all like, instantly gets killed by overquotes, and I was like, oh, I wish it never came out. I wish I only saw it with my friends.
Give me your tots.
Yep.
Tina, eat the ham.
That was me.
Your
trying
mom
to
goes to college.
Imagine trying to gatekeep Napoleon Dynamite. That was me 1 month in. I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know this movie.
I was watching it and I was like 12 and being like, I don't think the kids at my school actually appreciate the solemn atmosphere of this movie. They understand the jokes, but they don't understand
I
the...
could see Alex appreciating like the warmness and the solemnness of it, and then also the really good soundtrack, the When in Rome.
Yeah, that was me. And because of Winn-Dixie, by the way, that movie sucks dog dick.
Winn-Dixie.
That movie is shit. It's shit out of my ass.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the plot of it is there's a girl who gets a dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And?
all that happens.
Okay.
And
That's
And
like
she's
all
in the
those
south
dogs.
and she like rides her bike or something.
So you're saying that this RV Nate would drive hundreds of miles down to a location where it's filmed and the movie's bad?
Luckily-
Man, I
luckily
would
though,
rather
Tom-
drive down to like I want to go to the plantation where Robert Johnson was.
He drove an RV though, so he saved on hotels that entire way.
Oh, well, see?
Yeah.
He's just saving money left and right. He's a
It
genius.
sucks so bad to have an RV and a house because
Yep.
an RV is so much maintenance and the gas and everything and
Well,
stuff breaks and
Well, that's what the
you can only
Hummer's
get
for.
the replacement from one company. Yeah, and they've got 2 vehicles and they've got the house. But I guess he's going to be getting an inheritance pretty soon from his wife.
I love that his like main driving vehicle was an RV, and he was just like, you know what? I need to get something else that's very similar, but just a bit smaller.
And the
Maybe
reason they travel is to
11
go
miles
to
per
different.
gallon.
They go to Spirit Halloween stores, which are identical in every single location, and he shows the different masks, and he also
No, they're regional specialties. If you watch his video where he does the road trip all over Alabama after the 15th anniversary of the release of Reese Witherspoon's Sweet Home Alabama, if you go to the Spirit Halloween in Mobile, Alabama, there are actually a ton of outfits from that movie.
That's true. They got
only at that location.
They have Confederate Crouchy there too. They don't have those.
They still have Klan hoods down there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they didn't get the memo.
Hey, the fucking South is worried about Planned Parenthoods when they should worry about Planned Parenthoods.
Too true.
Yep, clans wearing hoods. There, we fucking got it. The South is worried about Planned Parenthoods when they should be worried about clans wearing hoods.
Oh,
Fuck.
goodness.
Shit.
That's good. That's the
Obama.
leftist angle.
Colin,
Let's fucking go.
let's go.
Obama.
Episode 100 in the bag.
All right, Felix, you got anything to plug?
Check out Patreon. Just check it out. Lots of good
Check out
stuff
lots of
there.
creators there. Some
Yeah.
conferences
My
coming
favorite
up.
murder is very good.
Yeah,
They actually covered one I did the other day.
They covered a cold case I did. Shit.
check out Law and Order Organized Crime. It's a series that I watched that we're really trying to get off the ground and get in 4th season.
It's real?
Yeah, that actually is real. It's a Christopher Maloney one.
Does it take
Yeah.
place
Yeah,
now?
All
the
enemies are Armenians and stuff.
Yeah, he keeps going undercover, even though for every season of SVU, he's on TV every other episode.
Yeah.
like he's like New York's most famous sex crimes cop, and they're like, you need to go undercover by becoming balder. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, now he's working in organized crimes, and sex crimes are never organized, so those guys never heard of him. They're like, what? SV what? Shut the fuck up, bitch. And he's like, you don't know what you're dealing with. So stupid. That's how
Yeah.
get on the ground, I'm on arrest for you. What? No, you're not. So stupid.
Yeah, it's like cops. They have a camera crew that follows them around when they're doing hearings and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and like interviewing the victims.
They should bring cops
They
back.
have a
to follow
camera
them
crew
around.
there.
Bring cops back for following them around off duty, getting DUIs and getting let off and shit. So funny.
They also have a camera crew that follows around the criminals.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Yeah.
Criminal Intent is like.
Well,
That-
it is true. They're showing
They
you
like-
like, to
they-
the criminal.
Yeah, Criminal Intent is the best one because they always fake you out by showing you like the second criminal scene is someone who's like not the killer, but it shows them being nervous. So you're like, oh, they're definitely the killer.
Yep.
But like, you usually don't find out until the last like 10 minutes of the episode when D'Onofrio like does his eye contact thing at someone.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I hate because like, I'll be in an episode now, and I'm not sure who the killer is, but then they pan over and there's like some Disney Channel original star. I'm like, oh, that kid did it.
Yeah.
He's on this show.
And
He did it.
The most common reason for like killing someone criminal intent is like someone's work was underappreciated, so they murdered like 7 people.
I'm just very smart and underappreciated, so basically that's what had to happen. I mean, that's pretty much the Criminal Minds thing too. It's always like the most genius guy in the world, but he gets caught in like the most dumb fuck way, like, and I uploaded it all to YouTube. Like, oh,
That was the Unabomber. He was like the
Kinda
smartest
is.
guy in the world, and he like
Yeah.
killed 3 people and then got caught because his brother realized it was him. The smartest guy in the world.